You are listening to another Third Coast Nerds podcast. If the song had been Sexual Peeing, it would have really changed the legacy of Marvin Gaye.
Yes, it would have.
That's good.
That was inspired by that game of Cards Against Humanity we played.
Which one?
Which one? The one we played at Hopscholar.
Okay.
Because
That's a good game.
That was
was
I just
one
ate
of
barbecue and left before y'all played.
I always love playing there because then people are like looking at the table like, what the hell did they just say? Because, you know.
that was the last open mic they had there.
Okay.
We played with a couple of the comics that were there, and one of the cards that I drew somehow twice was Sexual Peeing, so that just stuck in my head. I couldn't use it for anything.
I've
Until
used it.
now.
I've definitely used
Until
it.
now. And then when I see the card, like all I can think of in my head is like, when I get that feeling.
I think of Kanye, but
You think of Kanye?
yeah.
Not R. Kelly?
Well,
R. Kelly would have been the one.
but Kanye's like the new R. Kelly, so you know he's done it.
See, I just think of Dave Chappelle because he's like,
Yeah.
trip, trip, trip. Oh, that was a good song.
So that's a good start.
Yeah.
That's what happens when you put sexual peeing in the intro.
I
Yeah.
wants to pee. in
Although
your
it wasn't
food.
quite as sexual as expected since robot voice was saying it.
Well, I don't know.
Yeah. We need to be able to get a filter to make sexy robot voice.
You need to build a filter?
Yeah, we need a filter for it so we can like make her sexy. An audio
I
filter.
don't understand what's happening.
you want to auto tune?
Yeah,
we can
robot
auto-tune
voice.
Just anybody? Anybody?
No, our-
like-
No. He wants to auto tune
robot
the
voice.
robot voice.
It is kind of already auto-tuned.
Yeah, but we need a program that lets you play with the auto tune so we can
Oh, so
add
there's like, yeah.
some dynamic to the intro.
Yeah, I know. Because
Some emphasis on syllables.
there are so many silly things that I want it to do, but when I try to type it out, it just doesn't work out. So
Yeah.
like you try to extend words where it's like woohoo, and it's like woohoo, oh, and it just doesn't hurt. It ruins my my entire thing. It ruins my thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where spaces come in. You got to put spaces if you don't want it to say letters. So you have to really. It's taken me an hour before to make one of those.
Yeah, you have to do like OH. So it's
Yeah.
a word O instead of a letter O or something.
Yeah, and I still like the I couldn't get this one to freak out with SOI.
Yeah.
Like, you know how like the built-in Windows one?
Yeah.
Where it sees that and it's like shwa 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 shwa. Because I love that back at the day at the place
At
where
the
we did the
place.
thing, making an entire row of computers do that and then hitting go all at the same time.
Yeah.
It's like the Rafflecopter goes shwa 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 shwa.
And the Rafflecopter. I still use that today.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the Rafflecopter.
Everyone's like, what are you talking about? It's like, Google it.
Yeah, but you don't like overpronounce it like medieval.
No,
It's
that
not
one
Ra-
requires it.
It's-
Rafflecopter, there's really not an IEV or anything in there that
We're not even 5 seconds in this episode. I want to give Marvel such a great idea. You should at some point in any of the next Marvel movies, you should have the Ruffalo-copter.
the Ruffalo-copter. Oh,
Just
that
have him spin. Just
that
spin.
would be. I'm sure we have some footage. We could make a GIF of this.
The Ruffalo-copter goes swash, 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 swash.
Yeah.
This could be good. It reminds me of a video I watched today from Funny or Die. They took the scenes of like American Pie and what's it, Due Date, where there's masturbation and they're looking at a screen, and they put the Star Wars trailer on it and just made.
Yeah, I saw that too.
And I'm
Yeah.
just like, that's actually pretty good. That's pretty funny. I like it. It's like,
Did you see the one that where it was like, I don't know, I guess they were trying to simulate the whole Ben name. The old dude that was gray
Old
that
Ben?
had told Luke go to freaking Dagobah, hang out
Obi-Wan
with that green
Kenobi?
dude.
Oh.
Yeah, there you go.
Old Ben.
Uncle Ben does work though.
yeah, it's Uncle Ben or Old Ben Kenobi
Yeah.
or Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yeah.
He's down with the Force and he's just using it to make rice. That's all he's doing.
Well, the great part about that is his rice comes out fried straight out of the rice cooker.
Okay. Disney needs us at their theme park.
Right?
Just have them sitting there and just
Fly
rice.
Just have us sit in line and tell lore.
Maybe that's how
create
Star
it.
Trek had the replicators, where you just like press the button for food. Maybe they have a Jedi stuck in the wall there. He's like, mashed potatoes again. It'd be great.
So what you're saying is they kidnapped all of the Jedis and
Yeah.
Sith, and they stuck them in the spaceships to just be like,
Yeah,
food,
exactly.
gun, shirt.
Yeah,
All right.
why not?
He's in the
You
wall.
brought them together.
Right?
He's in the wall. They just stop and like, do you hear someone singing "Working in a Gold Mine" in the distance? Like, I swear I hear someone singing this.
No, they had them create sound dampening walls before they put them in.
They have the technology. They
They
can
have
do
the
it.
technology.
It's called the Force.
and to really to have something stick in Mike's craw. The space that the Jedi is in behind the replicator is larger than the space outside of it.
Yeah. Why not?
Why is there all this space? The military would never waste space like this.
Well, actually, it could be like a tube system, much like the bank uses. So depending on when someone presses the button, on like say they're on floor 59, it's got to shoot him up the tube for him to do it, and then back down to 6. That would be so
No,
cool.
I
they
just
could
had the
actually-
idea of like the
they could
replicator
be-
breaking, and they're like stupid replicator, and they put a ticket on it and just launches them out of the ship.
Well, no, I mean, it works.
It unwraps the next Jedi and slides him in the
Yeah.
tube.
They can actually use like the same water system that was in the movies because they have the mouthpiece that lets them breathe.
Yeah.
So they're just sitting there in water going.
They're just like,
Essentially, we've turned the Jedis into Aquaman with powers.
The mouthpiece. Come on.
Yeah,
yeah, and the Federation is murderous. They don't care, like
None.
murderous slave labor.
not at all.
Just eject them out of the ship.
You got midichlorians? Go in the ship.
Thunk. Oh, there goes another one. Like, where do you think the photon torpedoes come from?
Right?
Just a guy sitting there.
There's only one of me, damn it.
I've given it all she's got, Captain.
We turned the entirety of them into a lightsaber and launched them at a ship.
Oh, we could start some sort of movement where we try to use every replicator on the ship at the same time and just see how good this guy really is.
All it does is make someone's shower water cold for like 15 seconds. Like, damn it! Why?
This is the next Spaceballs movie. I'm saying. This could be really good.
What was it? Mel Brooks made a comment about that. He's like, the next Spaceballs movie was something like Spaceballs 2. Yes, we need more money or something like that. Yeah.
There's hopes that Spaceballs 2 comes.
Yeah, I hope so.
It would be great. As long as Honey, I Shrunk the Kids becomes unretired and is willing to do a movie.
Rick
Everywhere
Moranis.
else is pretty much on
He's
board for it.
who knows, man? Who knows? There's a man in the room wielding a knife. We played Knifey Spoony before.
Right?
I saw a picture today where someone walked outside and they left a knife out on their grill or something like that, and they come outside and there's a squirrel holding it in his mouth, and then he pulls it out and he told like this. He goes, "I walk outside and got challenged to a knife fight." And I'm sitting there thinking, I would shoot that squirrel dead. I'm like, nah.
Oh, it's only fair if you use a knife. It's only fair.
I'm using a really big knife.
Yeah, why not? Sword. Technically, it's a knife.
The Dane Cook joke, like how awesome would it be if you had to come home and fight a monkey every day
Depends on the type of monkey.
before Grandma's boy stole it?
Yeah.
Yeah, monkey.
As soon as he threw poo, it wouldn't be another day. Sorry.
It's something like if you trained a monkey to like kung fu fight or like be a ninja, and then just know like as you're driving home every day, like as soon as you get home, you have to fight a monkey.
I'd come in the back door just to surprise him sometimes.
Phrasing.
Go, yeah. let's go ahead and mark that. Let's go and mark that. I don't know what the minute mark is, but
Check
yeah.
the tape. Yeah, we're just gonna steal it from Archer. Phrasing. Yeah.
You got to keep him on his toes,
Yeah.
literally.
Hey-o.
Yeah.
Hey-o.
Oh, and another one.
Yeah, sexual peeing. You did this, Chad. You did it.
Oh, Jesus.
So what's going on?
Not a lot.
I was recovering from sickness this weekend.
Yeah.
So I took your advice, Neil, and I caught up on pretty much everything. I had some work to do, and my computer was sitting there, so I was like, I'm going to do this. But I was like, just get the final day of getting over it, really.
Yeah,
You had some work to do, and then no work happened.
essentially.
I had work Monday. I mean, that's close enough. And, I had to recover. Otherwise, there'd be a sick day in the middle of the week, and I couldn't afford another one of those. So I'm sitting there, and I finish Arrow and Shield and Flash, and I'm excited. I'm waiting for the next ones. And then I saw that on my Hulu, I had Heroes. And I was like, I'll watch the first episode.
Yeah.
And then after I finished the 6th episode, I went to bed.
I've actually been pretty happy with the new Heroes.
Oh, I'm definitely going to be watching it weekly.
There's a few plot holes, but I thought they did a pretty good job with the way they introduced time travel in it.
Yeah, and they immediately like fixed the problems that were going to happen.
They've done pretty good with that.
I'm like, they're putting themselves in a hole again. And then I was like, oh no, they fixed it.
The one mistake they're making is telling you exactly when and where everything happens, just like they did with the original. Because, Walking Dead right now is splitting storylines, and you're getting to see 3 characters, 5 characters, 3 characters. Is Glenn, all that kind of all the way up and down. So the way they've been able to get around it is you don't know what timeline is where. Like, they didn't do time travel, but essentially they are, because they're not showing you. I mean, they're showing you 4 different things that are happening at around the same time, but the order in which they happen matter a lot, and we don't know what that is, so it adds more questions. So the way they used it to fix a couple story things, and they stepped on a couple butterflies, and they're seeing the effects of that.
I like that placement there.
Yeah, you like that? But yeah, I thought it's been pretty good so far.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it. I thought about, for just a brief second, I was like, I could start Walking Dead, and then I didn't, because I was like, no.
Yeah,
I almost did that other one you told me to watch, season 1, 3, and 5.
American Horror Story.
That one.
Yeah,
because it popped up somewhere, but I went to bed instead. So
you need sleep sometimes.
Yeah, and I recovered. So I'm not on NyQuil today.
Nice.
Just on Mucinex and cough drops.
I've been dealing with internet service providers since last Wednesday, so that's been a lot.
Yeah, I had a 2-month plus battle with InTouch over mine.
So where are the bodies hidden?
No, it wasn't until they kept blaming it on what was happening in my house, and I'm like, again, this happens every year and a half. I assure you, it's nothing in my house. Every time this happens, it's because there's all sorts of cables plugged into the node, and they're just out there gathering up all these radio waves and wrecking my signal. So you should probably come fix that. And they still kept blaming it. It's something in the house, something in the house, something in the house. Every time a technician would come out, same thing. Put the meter on the box. It's not happening right then. It's something in your house. We'll have to charge you and leave. And so finally, I called very angrily and said, if I have to go take out all of my equipment and plug it into the side of the house to prove to you it's not in my house, I'm going to do that. And then 5 seconds later, or not 5 seconds, come out that fast, 5 minutes, let's not exaggerate, probably 5 minutes. I don't know the exact time, somewhere around there.
Let's go 7.
Yeah, I sent them a picture of everything sitting on a table on the side of my house, plugged in directly to the splitter on the side of the house.
Nice.
Like, I assure you, it's not anything in the house. I don't know how I could eliminate any more of this right now.
Yeah, I dropped AT&T and went with Comcast. They cut TV off on Wednesday, and I kept internet until today so that I could have the internet because
you need them internets.
Well, it made me research some cord cutting options. Long term, I did get some TV channels, like 140. Mainly, I can watch Rockets games. That's that and HBO for 2 years came with it, so that's always good for the Game of Thrones. But yeah, I've got to set some things up where everything auto downloads, renames, unrars, and then sends it to my Plex server. So even fewer commercials than before for me.
So 2 years, you said?
Yeah.
Perfect, because my HBO Go is about to run out. and Game of Thrones is about to come back on, so I'm going to need that login information.
When's the start date for the next season of Game of Thrones?
February.
Yeah.
Really?
February 18th.
Nice.
3rd.
So
No,
yeah,
Shameless
Shameless comes around.
It's always sunny
January.
in January.
Yeah.
It's been really cool because the application I'm using, Sonar, you basically tell it where all your shows are, and then you press Add Show, and it brings up all the directories that it found, and you can add it to be monitored or not. So I went through, and all the shows that I was watching weekly, I added it to them, and then there's a calendar tab, and it actually shows you your week. and has different colors for the shows depending on if they've aired, if they haven't aired, if it's special, if it's downloaded, if it's available, whatever.
Yeah.
So it's been kind of cool just to see everything get added. And then it started backfilling. I set a lot of them to just download everything. If I don't have it, get it. It only searches the RSS feeds probably back for I think 14 days.
Yeah.
So it's not going to go back to something that's been there for 10 years, and just start downloading. But it's downloaded about 200 gigs over the past 5 days just on its own. I had an issue getting my torrent to unrar themselves, but that was an issue with 7-zip, so one went with WinRAR, and it's working pretty nice.
Yeah,
So,
we've actually been talking about that quite a bit in Hangouts.
Yeah.
All sorts of different options. I used Kodi, which is
Yeah.
like, I guess, Xbox Media Center or whatever.
Yeah.
Used that over the weekend. Found some sports channels to stream, and that worked very nicely. I was actually really surprised with the quality. And
See, I tried to stream a Rockets game this week, and it was...
It seems like
all
local
of them
stuff.
wanted me to give them a username and password. Like, they wanted me to sign up, and I didn't want to give them my email address.
I don't know if I can tell you this much though. Like, if Monkey's using it, then you don't need any of that stuff because he won't touch it if you do.
Well,
have
he
to.
doesn't. Unfortunately, no one is also techie and basketball in the group but me.
Yeah. I mean, for me, it's all mostly the European stuff. MotoGP, it's all racing stuff. MotoGP, F1, those.
I've
things.
noticed a lot more of that available on my sites that I go to. Apparently, it's becoming more popular.
Well, it's like if you go on Reddit, when Trev and I were in Austin for the F1 race, and we were locked in a hotel because they wouldn't let anyone on the track, we watched the entirety of the qualifying coverage, or basically all the mechanics and everything just goofing off in the garage to entertain the crowd because they couldn't get the cars out.
Yeah.
But it was like 6 hours of coverage, and no one in America covered it. They basically chimed in on NBC Sports, and they're like, "Yep, it's raining." Later.
Here's Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Enjoy.
Yeah. And then Sky TV, which is like the UK network that covers F1, they cover it like that Fox covers NASCAR in America, which you've got like 3 hours on either side of the event covered.
Oh, wow.
It's a lot of coverage. In fact, like for the most part, on an F1 weekend, Sky TV is dedicated to covering F1. So they on a Saturday, on their Saturday coverage, they had like 7 hours of coverage, like everything. And
Nice.
to fill time, I mean, it's not like other networks. Like NBC has a lot of prepackaged coverage,
Yeah.
where they just get on and talk like very vaguely about things they don't understand, and it's horrible.
Yeah.
But then you go to the Sky TV coverage, they have like David Coulthard, Eddie Jordan, like they have people who have sat in cars, raced cars, owned teams, worked on them, built them.
See, I don't always think that equates in basketball because there's some really stupid announcers that used to play basketball.
Terrible.
And, for me, I prefer the announcers that actually know what they're talking about. And
Yeah.
some of those big guys on TNT do know. I mean, Kenny Smith got his ring here in Houston. Shaq's got a handful of them. And, I mean, Barkley.
Yeah,
He's
like
Barkley.
Kenny Smith Kenny Smith is able to articulate it in an intellectual way.
But everyone else is just going for clicks.
Yeah,
They're,
yeah.
And
Everybody just hunts for blurbs.
yeah, I'm not into that. That's why I've been really down on the Twitter, because there's a lot of crap I don't care about that gets tweeted.
Jaden tweets.
Jaden
Yeah,
tweets.
I mean,
The thing I go to Twitter for is comedy, always comedy,
see, I don't
and F1 news, because there's like a Will Buxton, who is the correspondent for NBC Sports, but he's the only one that actually gets flown out to the races.
Yeah.
He has, I mean, he's well respected.
He has to ride coach too.
Yeah, he's well respected in the F1 circles, so he gets a lot of behind the scenes stuff that no one else does, even the Sky TV guys. So he gets a lot of like sort of nothing on the record, but he gets a lot of rumor,
Hearsay, yeah.
like not even hearsay, but it's like, yeah, you're gonna hear about this like in a couple of weeks. So like the official press release, that it's in any professional sports,
Yeah,
like
same
the
way.
agents and stuff like that. When you know the ins and outs, you get a lot of like, look out for this. This is coming up. 2 months from now, we're gonna make this announcement. So like it's Eddie Jordan was talking about Sebastian Vettel moving to Ferrari like 4 months before it happened.
Oh wow.
So the entire F1 world knew it was going to happen. Like they have the press conference, and it's like, so are you going to say it now? Are you?
Well,
is
yeah,
it
because I
now?
mean, realistically, a change like that was pretty close to James Harden switching shoes. you know, he was still under contract with Shoe A.
Yeah.
Until the said date, but everyone knew, and it was already announced, but they waited until that day to do the big press conference because he could wear them, and there was a picture of it. Yeah. So now there's a picture of that guy with a Ferrari instead of a Dodge, I guess. Maybe. Yeah. Is that what he was riding? I don't know.
So when you like when you have him making like weird remarks over team radio and it's broadcast to the world, like as he's driving his last races for Red Bull, he's like, "Remember these days forever, guys." It's like, what does that mean? What are you talking about? It's like, oh yeah, by the way, I'm going to chunk you to the curb,
right?
In like 2 races.
It's been a good run.
It's been a good run. 4 championships and I'm out.
Right. Chunk the deuce and walk.
Yeah, but that happens like a lot of behind the scenes stuff with coverage, and a lot of that is revealed on Twitter between all the correspondents for Sky TV, all the correspondent or Will Buxton for NBC Sports, and a lot of the other journalists. Craig Scarborough, who is just a technical correspondent. He's not actually affiliated with any network, but he gets paid to go to these races because he's the only guy that's technical enough to take a look at a car, and he's like, "Yep, all these things changed. These are exactly what changes," and he's you know, an engineer, so he sketches them, all the changes. He's like, "Here's everything that changed on this car from this weekend to this weekend."
Does he like tweet them out one at a time?
Yes.
Yeah, he wants.
He
wants
so
Netflix.
So I don't want people like that on my Twitter because I get like 9 emails a day, which is why I hate Twitter, and I turned that off.
I don't get any
dislike
emails.
the Twitter.
Without the TV, I signed up or subscribed to NBA's YouTube channel. And I get like 40 emails a day that they uploaded videos. I really ought to check my notification settings because, you know, there's way too much. I mean, I've watched 80% of them because I didn't have NBA TV. But nonetheless, I don't need to know every 7 minutes when someone uploads a crossover like move and put someone on skates.
Yeah, some of those, like for major networks, like all they'll cover is their ad copy. Like that's why I unfollowed Marvel. Yeah. Like, okay, I griped about this last week. Like, I get it. You released 3 more pictures for freaking Jessica Jones. I don't care.
See, I see that, but
they'll repeat the announcement now. They'll repeat the announcement 15 times over the course of that day.
Oh yeah, and I get 40 of them on my Feedly from Comic Book Resources, all these other places because they just share it or send the same thing out. But they've been doing a lot better with. I mean, obviously their podcasts are pretty good. I've been listening to their main Marvel one and their Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. one. So they do have some interviews there, but it does seem like most of their stuff is their canned. I mean, and when you're a big corporation, that's what you send out. That's your media department.
So for all that news, for the majority of that news, I'll go to Reddit to get that. Like, I don't need live updates. I'll get it on demand whenever I want. Yeah. But for like comedians, that is their stronghold. Twitter is their thing.
Because people like to share and jokes get shared. They're like memes. They're basically verbal memes.
Yeah. So like things that can't make a stage, like you can't really tell a joke on stage, but it fits this character limit and it fits a text form.
The character limit.
Like Patton Oswalt is the king of this.
I bet Norm Macdonald was probably pretty good at it.
I don't
know if he tweets, but
I don't think he does.
Because I think his mind would only think of like 256 characters at a time.
Yeah, and plus his comedy
Hedberg would have been amazing on
right?
Twitter.
If you've ever seen like his wife scanned a couple of pages from his notebook and uploaded it, like he wrote religiously every day. And it starts off like any free writing session. If you remember this from like English class, like they make you do free writing over the course of like the creative writing section. Yeah. And we had to do this every day in 3612 or something like that. English 4, I think it is. We had to do this every day for like 5 minutes. So you just free write. And his is like, I write because this is my job. And it's like, it starts off in a very un-Mitch Hedberg way.
You're making me write, so I'm writing kind of.
Yeah. And then it goes into like, then it goes into the Mitch Hedberg stuff. Yeah. And it's brilliant. And you never heard him do that on stage, but it's in a notebook somewhere. So it's almost like, remember when they released like the Kurt Cobain journals? Yeah. I really wanted to do that for Mitch Hedberg because there's nuggets in there. I'll look it up, but there's a couple of jokes that made it in there.
See, what you have to do is you have to put like install Dragon Naturally Speaking. And then you get...
Then you have to do the same thing we have to do to Robot Voice.
But if you... And I did this when I was in college. I listened to my professors. I recorded them. Yeah. And then I used their words from recordings to map out all the words for Dragon Naturally Speaking. And then it would translate a good 95% of the class. So I had very little edits to do. I'm fairly certain we could do that with Mitch and actually have it read it as him back to us. so we could hear the joke as he wanted to say it for the first time ever.
As it was in his mind.
They got to do the Tupac hologram for Mitch Hedberg.
You know what? I'd pay to go see that.
Right? That would be pretty fun.
Stupid internet.
Still?
No. I mean, it's showing up, but I hate it when like other websites like gank material from other websites.
Yeah.
But they don't show it to you full screen. They just got the click through and they just got the ad revenue.
Yeah.
And they did it in a half-assed way.
Yeah.
And it bugs me.
I
So
agree.
yeah, by the way, we're on Stitcher now.
Yes.
So speaking of other things making money from us, we'll see how this goes. It's an interesting experiment.
I haven't done much with Stitcher.
Yeah, I've never actually been. I'm going there for the first time now. Ooh, they have a free app.
It's just like any other aggregator that you like Podbay, everything else. Like it's just another thing that Stitcher works in a different way. Like they actually download our podcast, recycle.
Our downloads going up by one.
By one, yeah. So we only get one tick from them, even though we may have like 10,000 listeners on it. But I actually have to go to Stitcher to get the stats for it, and they actually re-encode the podcast at a lower quality that fits, I guess, safe space on their servers. So yeah, if you want like the legit, like I take a lot of pride in the quality of our show and the audio quality of the show. The actual content quality, who knows?
Yeah, I mean, it's hit or miss. It's hit or miss.
We're not in the top 10 episodes.
We haven't even posted one yet, I'm sure. Or have we?
No, everything's already there.
Everything?
Yeah.
Okay, so,
Apparently, Robin Williams, Kurt Cobain, Jane Fonda, they're all beating us.
Has Google Play started doing the podcast yet?
I don't know. I
noticed the starter started advertising theirs as, iTunes/Google Play, but they did that the day that we discussed it on chat and you added us to it was the first day they put their banner up that had it. Huh. So I know as soon as they did it, they just added it and they're just moving forward.
I'm pretty sure you can post, because I know there's some bands that actually post their music to Google Play and they just make it free. So then you can use the Google Play app to do it, right? So I don't know if there's podcast or not. I'm going to go check now, though.
If there are, we're there too.
Yeah, anywhere, just like I said at the end of the last episode or the episode before that, anywhere where you can find other episodes, any other podcasts, you can usually find us. You just have to search. But if you're listening to this, you probably already know that.
Yeah.
Probably already found it.
Pretty much.
And you can go to Libsyn.
Actually, that's kind of funny. I've been playing a lot of Civ 5 lately, and I took Libsyn over the other day and just laughed to myself for like 5 minutes. It was fun.
Oh, there's like a town.
Yeah, Libsyn.
Okay.
Yeah.
All the podcasts are yours.
Yeah, they're mine now.
But yeah, anyway, so I don't know about the technical side of it. The podcasting game is interesting. It's if you know about it, it's hard to like equate to, because like, it doesn't get any new listeners really. Like podcasts don't really pick up people who you either have heard about podcasts, you know what it is, or you have no clue.
Right.
There's only you're one of two buckets.
Well, I'm kind of in the middle because I only listen to our shows that I'm not on, so I've listened to 2 so far.
Yeah.
And then the starters, of course, I don't have NBA TV with my new package, and I'm not going to spend money on it because all their episodes are on podcasts now.
Yeah.
So I'm starting to find more and more, but then again, that's also YouTube's. So
yeah,
and that's one in particular that I listen to a lot. From the car to the desk, it's a 20. When you cut out all the commercials from the TV, it's only like 22 minutes.
Yeah.
So it's a good 6-7 minutes from the car to my desk, and then I'll listen to the rest while I'm sitting there. But they're always like, the very solid play of the night, and like, well, what you see here, and it's like, oh,
yeah.
I almost want to like watch it, but then I tried watching it just to see the plays, and I'm like, I've already heard all this.
Yeah.
Like I can just fast forward to that. But so I mean, it's getting used to it, but
yeah.
I mean, more and more I see now people, they don't watch the trailer for the next episode after like The Walking Dead. So that was, I don't know if you've looked at all on the Reddit. There's been a lot of people upset because they made you watch like 20 minutes of Into the Badlands before they showed you like what's going to happen next week on Walking Dead this week.
I hear that Badlands is good though.
I can tell you that
did people not understand like where TV's going?
No, they don't.
It's all about selling you the show that comes after, the lead-in.
Yeah.
So once they got you hooked, whether it be Mad Men or Breaking Bad or The Walking Dead, if they have a show that's getting ratings, they're going to sell you on some crap that comes afterwards. and they're going to keep you hooked. And you're
Well,
dumb
the
enough to
problem
not realize that the internet's going to have it 5 minutes after it's shown.
The internets are mad right now because like there are people like tallying up how much time is spent on commercial breaks and Into the Badland commercials and like all sorts of stuff for The Walking Dead. Because
Stop watching it live.
right,
Stop watching it live.
I know.
Exactly.
I mean, don't they have Starbucks cups to be angry at?
Yeah, it's
yeah.
suburban people that don't have enough to be like we.
What am I going to be mad at today? Commercials.
We need Jurassic World to happen, if anything, for the giant predator that will certainly eat people. Because people need something bigger to worry about.
Yeah.
Like,
definitely.
this cup is red, it doesn't have snowman, you upset me. Bleh, bleh.
I actually, the
There's
day...
so many things. The stormtrooper's black. Oh my god! The number of people I unfriended when they bitched about Michael B. Jordan being the Human Torch in Fantastic Four.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
None of my friends cared about the Fantastic Four.
Well, there's that too.
I still haven't seen it.
Before they realized it looked god awful, and they have yet to ever see anything good done with the Fantastic Four property on anything that moves.
Yeah.
You know,
I actually
it's like really the thing that sets you off is the fact that like the Human Torch is black. That's really that one. Like let's bat nipples is more. It's more worthy to get angry about bat nipples than it is the Human Torch.
Have you ever listened to any of the Comic Book Explains YouTube videos?
No.
You should try them. The
Well,
dude,
you showed me. You linked that one, and I watched part of one of them.
well, this dude he talks a little too fast. Like
Yeah.
he doesn't breathe, and he goes just from A to Z as fast as he can. But I watched a couple Friday and Saturday. One of them was Wally West Explained, because that's a big thing right now in Flash. Iris's mom shows up, and the only reason she would be there is because of the son she mentioned, which would be Wally, who in the comic books turns out to be a Flash for quite some time. So people got all up in arms about that, and he explained, the history of Flash pretty much between Jay Garrick, Barry Allen, and Wally West. So it was a pretty good one. And then one was released on the history of the Avengers. It was like 15 minutes long. But like watching those, I can really see why people would be very interested in the Fantastic Four. Like in the comics, they're cool. I don't know how they've never been portrayed on TV. I mean, the best thing they ever did was take Jessica Alba's clothes off. That's it.
But then,
yeah,
I heard. I watched a comic do a joke today. It was I can't remember the guy's name. Unfortunately, I can't remember where I saw it. But he was equating. He was gay, and he thought. He was like, if any comic book, he's like, I'm a nerd, but like, if any comic book spoke to me, it was the Fantastic Four, because there wasn't a comic book that was more gay than that. He's like, who is it? The Green Lantern is gay now, like the Iceman is gay. So he's like, no, the Fantastic Four. First of all, flame on.
Flame on.
Second of all, you got a dude that's rock hard all the time. You got another dude who's all stretchy and whatnot. We can think of the limbs that do that.
Yeah.
And the woman just disappears.
I definitely see where they were going there.
Yeah. I was like, good bit. I butchered it. I did a horrible job of telling it, but it was a good bit.
Yeah. We'll have to pull it up on the YouTubes next time.
Yeah. Give
It'd
that guy
probably
credit.
sell better.
I betray a lot of the nerd stuff because I have subscriptions to maybe like 4 channels on YouTube that are like nerd stuff.
Yeah.
I have over 80 that are stand-up comic stuff.
Wow.
Because that's, I go deep off that end because that's more
People
entertaining.
just aren't that funny.
It's more entertaining to me. It's more entertaining to me than some dude like bitching about a comic book or complaining about a movie or even summarizing a comic book. Like, awesome.
See, I look
just
at it
need
from
to
like
do
a
that
history
funny.
perspective.
If it could do it, if they had like a Dan Carlin hardcore history where he did it like prose style, and if you ever listen to like the hardcore history stuff, it's hours. It's hours after it. The series on the Mongols is unbelievably good, but it's like a 26-hour sit. You're going to be listening for a while.
Maybe that's what we need to do. Make some really, really, really long history podcasts. Because I've noticed a lot of people. We're kind of we're towards the end of it now, but most of our podcasts are averaging about an hour 15, I would imagine.
Yeah,
or so.
Yeah, we're in there.
And where we live, that's a trip to or from work.
Yeah.
Like Nerdist usually runs about the same. They say they're going to run an hour. It's usually an hour 10.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've noticed. We discussed it a couple weeks ago because you were talking about most of them you listen to are shorter.
No, most of the ones I listen to are longer.
Longer, okay.
Yeah.
I've actually come across more and more now. I've got about 6 of them that are just 20 to 30 minutes.
Yeah.
But
like the shortest one I listen to is the Adam Savage one, which is anywhere from half an hour to 45 minutes sometimes.
Yeah.
And that's usually like if I'm going to make a quick trip and don't really want to get deep into something, that's it. But otherwise, the majority of the ones I listen to, whether it's the Dr. Rhonda Patrick podcast, which you're going to get a ton of science, and it's going to be 3.5 hours.
Oh, wow.
I usually have to listen to hers maybe 4 or 5 times to go back and like extract all the notes.
Yeah.
Because it is all science.
Yeah, see, I'm not on autopilot at work right now, so
I don't listen to him at work. I can't listen to him at work.
Oh, really?
I can't.
Why not?
I just can't. I can't get in. That work is where I listen to stand-up comedy. That it has to be something background noise. I can't really do music for some reason. Like I can only do music when I'm driving.
I only like the same 7 albums, so that's
There's
like 2 days.
See, that's when I need to zone in. I pop in the earbuds. That way, there's chatter, and I'm just like, nope, and I actually get some work done. But podcast, I tried it
because I get too drawn into it. Like podcast,
I want to listen.
Yeah, podcast. I want to extract the information from it.
Yeah.
And pretty much the only time that I can zone into it is when I'm driving. I can't do it at home because there's too many other distractions. I can't do it at work because there's too many other distractions.
I'm kind of surprised you don't play Ingress anymore.
Yeah, like Ingress. Yeah, my normal run.
You could hear boom, 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 boom behind everything.
Yeah. But it wouldn't be as epic as it was in your car, though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you got to think if you do have that on. That's what I do. I mean,
Where's the Dre Beat sponsorship for Ingress? That's what I want to know.
Dude, that's some bass. It hits.
Yeah. See, I'm the P. Diddy of this shit. Give me money, man. I'm tying everything together. Let's do this. But
tying beats, they're horrible.
Yeah, they're horrible quality. Like the story behind Beats, it's hilarious. It's basically like another company developed them, and this company's like, we're just going to take that.
Yeah. We'll take your money. I'll even wear the logo, but I'm using different ones. Like they'll be around my neck. That's the farthest they'll go.
Yeah, I can't remember what company originally developed the headphones.
They're not even good.
Walmart probably.
Everyone that's had a pair, they're like, yeah, I paid for the name. I was like, well, at least with Nikes, you got a good pair of shoes.
Yeah. No.
Oh, I've loved it.
Every pair of Nikes I've ever had lives up to the other what is it, like the other logo or whatever.
Adidas,
not logo.
Reebok.
No, not that.
Pay less.
The tagline, like the "Just Do It" tagline.
Yeah.
Like you walk through water, it's really clear that it's just glue it, because those things don't hold up, man.
See, I have on Nikes right now the Pegasus.
Yeah, those are my favorite.
They're so comfortable. The only problem is like today was raining, and they're running shoes, so they have like pretty much just a vent on top.
A mesh on top.
So every time you walk in the rain or through puddles, your feet get wet, but they don't fall apart.
Yeah.
They're still good.
Yeah,
it's like walking in a cloud.
Mm-hmm.
I rock New Balance because A, they're cheap. 2, I can't wear Nikes because they're too narrow, and they don't make anything higher than like a 2E. And that's just pretty much the same for just about every other shoe. Like my foot's too wide.
Did you drop something on it when you were a kid?
I don't know, man. I went. What was it? 4 months unemployed and didn't wear shoes at all. And then I went to go buy some shoes, and I'm like, damn, man. Like,
you need to bind your feet so that they
I guess so, man. So, like, yeah, I'm blocked in. Like, yeah, my personal style is a mid-30s stepdad. So, Old Navy jeans, New Balance shoes, a polo, and I'm good, man.
You know the reason, like, it's like the mid-30s stepdad is because you get all that stuff while you're taking kids there to shop.
Yeah.
You're just doing it because.
I'm just doing it because it's cheap, man. It's like,
that's awesome.
$54 on a polo. Get out of here, man. That thing's going to be torn up in 2 weeks. $10. Buy a stack of them.
Ladies, I hope you're listening.
Yeah, that's legit, man. I'm looking for the chick in the mid-30s that's just ready to sell out. The 10-year-olds just won't leave her alone, just pisses her off all day. Like, I'm going to take care of that kid. They're more amusing than you anyway. Like,
right.
We got Legos, we got model cars. We're good, man.
Oh, this is funny.
That's where all
I'm
my
just
money would
picturing
go,
him,
man.
Him at a speed dating going, I'll date you, but only if you have kids, because I need to be entertaining. Like, you're not going to be entertaining enough. Like, you look pretty and all.
You can cook,
but
okay.
Yeah, you can cook. You're a dime piece, but like, have you seen my ice cream truck?
Nice.
Oh, that's not creepy at all.
I got
Not at all.
Son, what's up? I got this pocket full of Werther's Originals.
Oh,
What do you want to do?
those are disgusting.
Really? No love for the Werther's
They were
Originals?
great in church.
No,
That and butterscotch.
no, I don't like it either. I'm not a big fan of a lot of the hard candies. I like the chewy, salty, sour things. So,
Phrasing.
yeah. This is what happened when you have the podcast 2 days early. Yeah.
Oh, this isn't 2 days
I'm
early
still
anymore.
I'm still thrown off by the timing because
Yeah.
like I'm
This
just
is-
used to like nothing happening the day after the podcast.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Well, it's the new day.
Oh
Let's
no!
embrace
There's,
it.
just because we do it twice in a row doesn't mean it's the new day.
Yeah, huh?
No, there was no discussion. There was
No,
just,
I think next week we're gonna do Wednesday because Garcia.
why is Garcia going to be here on Wednesday?
I don't know. He said something about being in this area.
I know he's going to be in this area Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
I heard something about Wednesday, so that's why I was like, dude, be here Wednesday. We'll do the show.
The Rockets suck right now, so I could probably do Wednesday.
Yeah, what's up with that, man?
I don't know. We ain't got that much time.
Yeah, I went to watch the game.
It's the balance. It's the scales of justice. The Texans won.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for
God, we don't know how.
for the next thing to come on TV to stop me from watching Rockets games.
Yeah.
So, Jessica Jones is soon, I think. So that'll be
yeah, that's in, 2 weeks or 3 weeks?
Can't you just compile all the pictures that they've released and make a flip book and figure out the first episode?
it would be like 30 pictures. That's all they've done.
No, it seems like they've done way more than that.
That's because you're seeing
they
the
released
same
them 5 or
4
6
pictures
times.
from 12 different media outlets.
They're doing something. It seems repetitive.
Yeah, they're
The media outlets are putting Instagram filters on it, so it looks different.
starting to get some good media and stuff.
Yeah.
I know people got handed out some scripts. I'm trying to think for what.
That's the thing.
for
I got
Guardians
to
of
get
the
back
Galaxy
into doing
2.
that. I got to get back
Oh.
into digging for scripts. That used to be like my favorite pastime. Like back in like 2000, 2001, 2002, I just go dive on the internet for scripts because they
Yeah.
would get released all the time.
Oh yeah.
But now, like studios have like such a lockdown on their scripts, they don't get released that often. I think it was The Matrix Revolutions. I read an early draft of that like 2 years before that movie came out, and the script was badass.
Really?
The movie that came out,
Not so much.
Not so much. No,
What
what?
changed in the last 2 years?
See, he's going to
No.
get these scripts, and he's going to start wanting to talk about them. We're going to have to throw stuff at him and yell spoilers. I see
Well, technically, he would be telling you what's going to happen in an alternate reality, because every change they make.
Yeah, they're gonna redraft because like anything that gets creative that gets passed through like the read-throughs,
Oh yeah.
it's you have like 15,000 dudes in suits going like, well, we can't sell that toy, we can't do this, we need this injected in here because of this reason,
Which is ridiculous.
and it gets destroyed.
Yeah.
It's like we need like it's as bad as about Nashville's like list of things you have to write about in songs.
Oh yeah.
Down by the creek, blue jeans, you gotta have a pickup truck in there.
You know my thoughts on that. We can write a program that can put out hip hop.
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
a big
Yeah.
rig tractor.
You want to smack in the mic some more?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, I'm sure that doesn't sound disgusting to anyone that's listening on earphones or in their car at high volumes.
Hopefully they're also going at high speed.
Yeah, high speed.
That'll-
Yeah.
I'm just hoping someone's at a red light with the windows rolled down.
Yeah.
Yeah, for all of our listeners who blare the Third Coast Nerds podcast at max volume in their car with their windows down, rolling around the suburbs. Got to hit up Old Navy.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
So you finally caught up on S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yes.
How are you taking the changes in S.H.I.E.L.D.?
I want to know where it's going.
Yeah, I know. I've read up a lot. It could be a lot of fun.
She could also be a complete bitch.
Yeah, could happen.
And that's what I'm feeling.
Yeah.
She hurts
Here's the portion
Coulson.
of the show where we alienate everyone who hasn't seen this.
Right?
Hey, Walking Dead, it happens to me. F1, it happens to me. Rock. Come on.
Kyle's like, I need something to talk about. I don't talk about the other stuff for the last 40
No, I mean,
minutes.
like you said something about NASCAR, and then he said racing, and I just went, nope,
Yeah.
computer. Like NASCAR is an immediate
Yeah.
off for me.
Well,
yeah.
that's the same way with Walking Dead. Like, show's dead to me.
The only thing that can pull me
How
back.
many aerial shots can we get with the guys laying on the ground as they're dying?
See, the only
Are we up to like 15 an episode now? Just like the aerial pan over because we really want that J.J. Abrams end of Lost shot on every episode.
No, they don't do that as
I
often.
still haven't seen Lost.
Yeah, I don't know if you want to start that one. That's a lot.
It's long.
That's long, yeah.
And I got to start Stargate again soon.
Oh, wow.
It's
Yeah.
into that part. That
That's
time
what's
of the
cool
year.
about Sonar is it tells you like what number the episode is. So it's like Supernatural's on like 225 right now. It's like, man, all these other ones stop at 60. And they thought they did good 6 seasons, you know.
Yeah, you don't have like your seasonal things you don't like watch around the holidays or whatever?
Battlestar Galactica.
Battlestar Galactica? No,
Yeah.
I'm talking like anything. Like I have to watch Home Alone.
Oh, I mean, I have TV, so if I don't have anything to do, I sort through whatever's there, and usually there's something on there.
Usually
on
the
demand.
family stuff, someone puts on a Christmas story.
Yeah, I mean, I have all that on my
But
Plex.
luckily,
so.
I don't have cable, and I think we're doing it here. So it's
Nice.
like, yeah. Let's watch
That,
Ant-Man.
I mean, there's a lot of sports on, so
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of basketball games. I watch a lot of basketball.
Football, this has been a horrible year for matchups. Like
Yeah.
I think we've gone like 4 weeks now where I have yet to see an interesting game. Like I have no interest in watching any of those teams play.
I've
Not
never
even
seen
fantasy?
an interesting football game.
I'll look to see like what a couple of my top players are doing, but for the most part, my top performers aren't on games that are broadcast. At least on like you have to have like NFL whatever the special
Oh yeah.
the pay extra subscription crap or whatever. Unless you got Cody, because I'm about to figure that out. So I'm gonna have all them streams.
You know who to contact. I already told you. They already have like 9 different things that get you like every channel, including sports.
For what?
For Cody, he hasn't figured out.
Oh yeah, I've already got the channels on a list.
Okay.
Yeah, I just have to figure out what device I'm going to end up putting it on.
Yeah.
I had it on this laptop and I had to uninstall it because this runs OBS. So I didn't want that to like interrupt because we had that like weird glitch with the last episode where it just quit.
Yeah, we all look over.
Yeah,
And we all saw it
it's
freeze,
frozen.
and we're like, all of us are thinking, I can't do that again. That was a long one. I can't.
Yeah. From the time the video froze to the end of the episode, it was like 30 seconds exactly. We're like, well, that's music. Goodbye.
Yep. Yeah. Let's see,
Like
see if this,
instantly.
what happened. We got to figure this out real quick. Okay, we're good. We're good.
So we actually use Cody for karaoke nights.
Yeah.
We do the karaoke here.
Really?
Yeah, they have. It's called Mikey's Karaoke Bar, and then under that, there's it searches YouTube specifically for karaoke, which sucks kind of because like half the time it's people recording themselves thinking they're good at it, and they're not. So you have to go through, and then
That's why I don't go to karaoke parties or bars.
And then there's another one that's never updated right, but yeah, it works well.
That's Neil Bostic, the critic.
Yeah.
It stinks. It stinks. It stinks.
You used to come out to karaoke every now and then when we went every week. That's
Yeah,
right.
I sat outside.
You don't Shatner a song? You could Shatner a song pretty well.
Well, it also
I've seen him up
depends. I've gone up there once, and then Mills took the song over, so I didn't have to worry about it. Like halfway through the first verse, Mills comes up there and starts changing words, so I just got off the stage.
He's good at that.
Yeah, so I got bailed out because I think I was doing Weezer. Yeah.
Probably pretty valid.
I think I did Little Dune Buggy, and it turned into something dirty because Mills showed up, and I wasn't going to say those words out loud.
Oh, well.
So, but yeah, I mean, same thing with comics for me. Like, comic the people, not comic the books.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Well, yeah, different strokes.
Yeah.
That's what it
I
does.
used to be in a comedy, but then,
It's a
like,
good
Dane
show.
Cook happened, and nothing on TV ever was any good.
Oh, that
was
era.
comedy.
That
Yeah,
era
like-
has since passed.
Yeah, that era killed it for me. I haven't come back. It's like my time is already consumed with other stuff.
Yeah, that was like 6 years where everyone tried to be him.
Yeah.
And then now that's well
Well,
out.
even like Comedy Central, if I put it on there just to see what random stand-up is where, and it's just not worth trying.
Dude,
Back in the day,
everybody's
it was
getting.
awesome.
I go through like it used to be to where like you could go on Netflix and look up a comedy special and it was going to be good, but now everybody
Everyone's
has a
getting one.
Netflix special,
Yeah.
and I start watching some of these and I'm like I don't even know, I don't even know how.
Yeah.
See, that used to be the thing is we would sit there in the cave at the old house growing up. We had a long desk, and we'd both be playing EQ, and we'd have the small little tube TV, Comedy Central. There's always a Comedy Central Presents or a Girls Gone Wild commercial.
That's essentially 95% of Comedy Central was Girls Gone Wild or a comedy special.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember those years.
Yeah, when that popped on, you're like, do I have school tomorrow?
That means it's at least 11.
Yeah, it's like I think they couldn't do that before 11 or before midnight. So you're like, what do I have to do tomorrow? Should I go to bed? No.
Yeah, where you're waiting for a show to end or a special to end, and they air the same Girls Gone Wild,
back to back
commercial like 4 times in a row.
And the volume is always like 160% of what the show you're watching. So that always made it worse. But yeah, man, I mean, I'm switching more to YouTube's and Twitch and different things to find different media outlets to watch things on. But like I've got so much stuff to do and watch already that comedy really hasn't. Yeah. Like probably once every 2 or 3 years I just listen to all of that dude's Mitch Hedberg stuff.
Yeah.
Just because
I'm psyched. I like stand up
trips.
Yeah, stand up's pretty good. Chris Titus is coming back to the Improv at Houston, the Houston Improv in January, so I'll go see him.
Pretty much the same thing with getting old in music. Like this music these kids are listening to these days is stupid. You know, same thing with stand up comedy. I mean,
actually some of the new stuff that's coming out, like Royal, I think it's Royal Blood or Royal Teeth or something like that. Some crazy hipster band name. Some of these bands that come out, like, they have ridiculous names, and you're like, oh, that's just another Coachella band that's going to disappear in 3 months.
Right.
But it's actually freaking rad. Like, really, really solid stuff. But it all depends. Like, it's a very... there was, like, a couple of years where you get really dejected, where you're like, all this is going to be crap.
Yeah.
And it was like that for comedy. It was like that for, like, a lot of new music. And you're like, I'm 28. Am I getting that old already?
Yeah, see, I just never came back. I'm like, you know what? How many albums did Led Zeppelin put out? I can listen to all those.
Yeah.
Led Zeppelin, Tool. I mean,
see, I listen to more of some of the new music. I mean, I like the easy listening.
I haven't had to listen to the radio in 2 cars. So, like,
I haven't upgraded my car.
I haven't listened to the radio at all in probably close to a decade.
2006 was the last time I had a stereo that did not have a MP3 player in it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's been 9 years since I've actually turned on and listened to regularly any radio station.
I used the radio this morning because I don't use my aux cable in the morning.
Yeah.
So.
And I listened to Rod Ryan for a while, but that's the same stuff every day.
Yeah, it gets
talk radio
is old,
boring.
That podcasts have replaced all of that for me.
Yeah,
for a long time. Like
that or audiobooks.
The only good thing about like the Rod Ryan shows, because I listen to that in the morning sometimes, is I hear stuff like in the news because they do like they have certain sections of the time that they do certain things, and I hear stuff that I would have never known.
You should just watch Naked News on your way to work.
Or that too. Like I get all of my Houston news from.
I don't
think
that's going to be productive.
Yeah, all of my local news I get from the Houston subreddit, and I can digest that in like 15 seconds.
Yeah,
like scroll through, like, oh, okay, pick out the ones that look interesting. Yeah. Everything else, I don't care.
Well, and in light of all the things that are happening worldwide, I mean,
Reddit
without TV since Wednesday, it's been really easy to find a YouTube or a Reddit subreddit somewhere that you can catch up and see what's going on.
Yeah, well, like Reddit had all the news. That's all TV and radio does now is tell you what they just read out off of Reddit. That's all they do.
Oh man, the local Fox channel for news, like half of their morning show is scrolling people's Facebook pages and reading people's Twitter.
The CW just like didn't even like try to disguise it anymore. They just they don't even have anchors.
That news fix thing?
Yeah, they don't even have anchors. That's
they just have that one dude that
reads Reddit, I guess.
Yeah, it's Reddit and a bunch of other like web.
Yeah, he essentially
sites.
Just reads like there's like 15 dots on the screen and he goes one at a time and reads them all off.
Most of the time they don't even read them. They just post the blurbs on they just text.
Oh yeah,
like,
that's
post
right.
The blurbs and there's like music in the background.
Yeah.
Like here you go.
Here's the half. I haven't watched it to see. It'd be kind of cool if you could customize it. That's what I thought I was going to do with Windows 8 when it first came out. Because you had like all the
that start menu thing?
Yeah, that start menu. I was like, this is going to be great. I'm going to have just the stuff I want on here.
Nah.
And I was like, this is stupid. None of this works. I don't care about you. And then I was like, you know what? I'm going to wait till Windows 10.
Yeah. Well, even Windows 10. Windows 10 doesn't like the live tiles and stuff like that. Like I thought the same thing because I used a program called Rainmeter to have all a bunch of like RSS feeds and stuff like that on my desktop, and it would give me News Direct. And I thought like Windows live tiles would take over for that. No, because you can't.
You have to subscribe to like a media source. So it's like, oh, you can have New York Times do that, but I read one article every 2 weeks from New York Times because
It's not relevant anymore.
yeah, like I do more at the Register than I do at New York Times for sure.
Yeah, but even then, like all of those big media giants that used to be the thing, they're slipping into irrelevancy now.
Oh yeah, I'm hoping ESPN dies.
Yeah,
I just want it to go away.
I'm tired
Not
of it.
going to happen.
I'm
They have
ti-
that one sound.
Well, I can't remember his name, but yeah, the guy that does for every Monday Night Football game,
Yeah.
he's the guy that's doing like the halftime breakdown and
Yeah.
showing like video clips from what happened on Sunday.
Uh-huh.
But he talks like this. We have this.
Sound like Bill Brady.
Yeah, it's
Slightly
could be.
scared.
Could be. But yeah, that's his breakdown. You have to listen to 5 minutes of this guy talking.
Oh yeah.
He's like, Amari Cooper goes out 15 yards. Boom.
Well, that's the funny part. Like, they've actually done a pretty good job in football reducing the amount of time you have to watch the game. But that time just got put into the pre and post shows.
Yeah.
So the program still starts at like 9 a.m. The game starts at noon. The game ends at 3. And like after the post game show, the news comes on at 6.
Yeah, if anything wicked happens, Deadspin's going to have the video for me the moment it happens. So typically, I'll use like Monday mornings to review anything cool that happened on games
Yeah.
because my fantasy football app tells me everything that's happening.
Right. I know who scored what.
Yeah, and the majority of the time, if there's like an awesome highlight play
Yeah.
for any of my players, which are really the only one I care about, it will pop up with video like the moment it happens. I'll get like a little ding and open up my phone, go to the app, and it shows me the play that just happened.
Yeah, I don't care about football still.
What about
It's-
football?
It's anything. It's anything. You watch soccer. Who gives a fuck about soccer besides Brazilians?
I have season tickets to soccer.
Good for you.
I like me some soccer.
But it's like I can't even. I don't even know. It's like I don't understand what's happening with the game. It's unbelievably slow. The game just ended 0-0. What kind of game is this?
Well, see, like it's funner when you go to games. Like if the soccer game's on and football game's on, yeah, I'm going to watch the soccer game while I'm drinking, right? If I'm at a bar and I don't have a choice of only those two. But
Yeah.
if I go to like the Dynamo games, are just
If I go
fun.
to a game and it's USA versus Mexico and there's a fleet of 30 people with drums, I'm gonna go play them drums.
Right.
And that's all I remember about the USA versus Mexico game.
then you should get season tickets like $35 for the support section. You can just play drums the entire game. That's literally what they do.
I can do that at my house,
Yeah, but
and I can watch a sport that I care about.
True. He's got a point.
Like if they had like a
it's
drum section,
football.
if they had a drum section for ice hockey, I would be at every game playing drums at ice hockey.
unfortunately, in 13 they sold our hockey team.
Yeah,
The
yeah, I know.
bastards. Makes me upset.
Yeah, I still want to take a
Do you
trip
know how
to
much it
Sugar
costs
Land.
to keep ice frozen in Texas?
Really, really, that's why we got rid of them.
Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah, if the stars weren't so horrible, I would probably be more in line to take a road trip up there to go see them. But
Yeah.
that's in Dallas, right?
yeah,
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna go to Dallas.
we've got the Sugarland Imperials here. That's like a super quadruple sextuplet A team. Like it's like basically a high school team.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
There
so
was a lot of words there did not make me think high
Yeah.
school team.
yeah, however many A's you want to fit in, that's like sub minor league.
Ah,
Like that's their thing. Or you have like the I think it's the
They're training for the Olympics.
Lafayette Ice Gators or something like that. So if I'm over there like working on something, I can go check out an Ice Gators game. Ice Skaters.
Yeah.
Ice
he
Gators.
said Ice Gators, right?
Yeah, I was gonna let it slide because
Yeah.
I'm not one for pronunciation myself.
I'm just
I,
imagining,
yeah, the brain just goes, yeah, good luck with that.
I'm imagining a bunch of people from Louisiana that just have alligators.
A bunch of Creole Brian Botanos trying to play hockey. That's what you got.
But they're not playing hockey. There's just like a bunch of gators on the ice sliding around, and they're trying to catch them. Like that's what I imagined when you said ice gators. I was like,
What was
that
that?
would be an awesome sport.
There was a Reddit joke, something like that, like things to tell a girl when you want to break up with her. It's like, what? You've never buttered your floor and sealed yourself up in a sleeping bag and pretended you were a slug?
No,
All the time. All the
No.
time.
I have not ever done that ever. I'd pay to see that. though.
I'm thinking of bets for my New Year's party now. I was like, who can I get to do that?
Well, in between, Fight Club.
That only happened 1 year.
It seems like it happens a lot here.
What, Terminator?
No, Fight
No,
Club.
like people just get up into fisticuffs, start fighting.
It's probably bi-yearly.
By the biannual.
Yeah, it's the biannual.
Biannual slamathon.
It really just depends on who gets that drunk. And who else is like, I'll play with them.
It's usually like one really drunk person and one that's just drunk enough to be like, this could be fun. And then like 4 people holding back my dog.
Yeah.
Where did you get knives? Why? Why are you suddenly wearing a ninja mask? I don't like how quick this happened.
Right. Too bad Ed's not here. He's been cut.
He has.
Yeah.
He's really
Yeah.
like Shanky Shank or like Filipino style where they twist it.
He tried to take a knife away from me and got cut in the process.
Actually, I think it was someone else trying to take the knife away while there was wrestling with the knife going on. That caused
the knife was
cut.
secured.
It was until someone tried to take it away from you.
And then they got cut. So
Wait, did you stab him in the leg,
no,
hand.
or was that a different story?
I don't remember stabbing him in the
maybe
leg.
not.
It may have happened, but I don't remember stabbing him.
No,
in
not in the leg.
It was
No,
in
it
his
was the
hand.
That may have been in high school though. Yeah, I think something was happening, and all of a sudden, someone had a very deep knife wound in their leg, and there went the day.
My favorite was seeing a guy jump out of a wheelchair and tackle someone. That was the best party fight ever. Do you remember who it was that was tackled?
When?
Oh, it was one of the rednecks from high school. They showed it to one of our parties.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And you know the guy, Mr. Bobby.
Oh yeah.
Someone kept saying stupid stuff, and Bobby's just like, screw it. And you just see him like drop out of the chair, use his monkey arms to like go like really fast, and then this redneck that thinks that he can handle it can't.
Nope.
And then I think Mom and Dad were there, and they walk out, and they're just like, "Yeah, we're leaving. You'll have a good one." We're like, "Merry Christmas."
Yeah, it was entertaining.
Yeah, it was awesome.
So, any movies to look forward to that are not Lionsgate?
I'm
looking forward to Creed.
not.
You probably weren't a fan of any of those movies anyway.
I liked Apollo 4.
What?
Well, not Apollo. He died in 2. I liked Rocky 4. Was that the one with the big Russian dude?
Yeah.
I like that one.
Yeah. Okay. Well.
Yeah. Yeah.
I liked all the Rockies and the arm wrestling one. That one was good.
Really?
Yeah.
What was it? Over the Top? I
Yeah.
think?
Yeah.
Wasn't like A Nightmare Before Christmas his like #1 horror movie a few weeks back? So
I didn't.
did anyone make it out to Etten to play that?
I was busy.
Yeah, I thought it was Saturday night, not Friday night. They did a Walking Dead and Night Before Christmas.
Yeah, my phone
Munchkin.
blew up, and they're like, "Oh, you can make it." And I was like, "No, I can't."
Yeah, I know. I was like, because I made plans for Friday night, but I didn't have anything to do. I had that for Saturday night, so I was like, well, that's unfortunate. But saving money for camping this weekend anyway. So.
Yeah, I want to enjoy that.
Yeah, should be good.
Weather look like it's gonna be okay.
Huh?
The weather look like it's gonna be okay.
Actually, yeah, it was a 35% chance on Saturday when I checked a few days ago, and it's down to like single-digit chances now.
It was 10 yesterday when I checked, and apparently it's gone down even more after the rain today.
Well, yeah, we got front-loaded this week. This week wasn't supposed to start raining until tomorrow, and the people listening don't know when tomorrow is, but it started raining today. But today is tomorrow.
Or
for you.
yesterday.
Yeah.
And if you're listening to this episode 15 minutes ago, but 4 years from now,
Inception.
yeah,
There we go again.
Look outside.
I wonder how many
It's gonna be
episodes I've said
raining.
Inception. I know it comes up at least once an episode, almost.
Not
Yeah,
once
that's
an
true. I
episode,
need to go
because you
watch
missed
that.
2 episodes. Actually,
Yeah.
it did come up in one of those episodes.
Yeah, that's one I got to go back and watch again. It was a good movie, great movie. I
Yeah.
like how Box Office Mojo doesn't really highlight the Star Wars movie on its release date. Like usually the big films they highlight, put in bold or whatever. But that weekend, nope, everything on the same level. Sisters, Star Wars, all on the same level.
That's good. I don't like taking what other people say as if I'm going to watch a movie or not, especially those websites because they get paid.
Oh,
to
no,
put people places.
It's one of those things I kind of forgot about.
Oh yeah.
That it comes out in December, and I'm scrolling through the list of like upcoming releases,
Oh, okay.
and I just skipped over it because nothing's highlighted for that weekend. So I'm like, okay, whatever. And like nothing good coming out that weekend. Okay, because it's not like I usually like take a quick glance and see like what big is coming out, and then I'll go back in detail if I'm really digging for something. Because
I have an RSS feed somewhere that does it, but I don't pay attention to it a lot.
Yeah, I mean we're getting like close to the deadline for award season, but I don't see really anything coming out or hitting theaters that are of that caliber. I don't know. Maybe the Moby Dick movie will probably get some nods.
Yeah. The last time I went to go to the theaters, I was like, I'm going to go see this, and I realized it had not been in the theater for 6 months. So
yeah. Since I only go to like movie taverns or other theaters that only have 6 to 8 screens, they don't have 37 HD giga screens with 250 extra seats and
with the moving
7,
chairs and
000.
goggles.
I'm old school. Just give me a pizza and a beer, and I'll watch my movie.
Yeah. The Alamo Draft House in Austin. Yeah, that was a legit theater. I love that place.
That's what was the other one? Not
the
Alamo.
AMC Spring. Oh, you're talking about Movie Tavern?
No, so Alamo, yeah. There used to be the one, well, it's probably still there on that mall over off Highway 6.
Yeah, we used to go there.
We used to drive from this area all the way over there. But
Yeah,
the one in Austin, I think we drove all the way up to watch A Scanner Darkly back when it came out because it wasn't out in Houston. That was one of the
that was a
few
limited
theaters.
release.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
I fell asleep during that movie.
Yeah. I'm usually on board with Linklater, but like that, on first sit, I was like, I don't know what's happening. I don't really know if I should care about this.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I'm thinking about other things, during a movie, then I'm not in it.
I've fallen asleep in 2 movies. I think one of them was Spear. Or Sphere.
Sphere. Yeah.
And the other was Scanner Darkly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I actually went back and rewatched Scanner Darkly, and I liked it. So I think it was just like, we went to the midnight showing. I had just driven from Houston, like, straight to the theater in Austin. And then watched the movie and realized the movie ended, and we couldn't go buy beers because it was after 2. So
yeah, certain movies, like it depends on the movie. Like my cousin and I snuck into Titanic like when it was halfway over because we finished our other movie, and our
bad decisions.
Yeah, but as we're walking in, it's when the dude clangs off the propeller when he falls off the top of the ship, and where I was standing in the theater, you heard it, like you heard the sound
of the bone,
the Foley artist just clanging a bell. It's just bang, and I'm laughing hysterically in the theater. I'm getting all sorts of dirty looks. So certain experiences like that, like when you got halfway through Pearl Harbor and realized it was indeed a Michael Bay movie.
Yeah.
And in the middle of like I took a date there. It was opening night for the movie. There were veterans in the audience. There were people who like had USS Arizona hats, like dudes that were there. And there's that scene where it's like, Josh Hartnett, he's about to buck the kick it, and like Affleck's like, no, like Matt Damon, no. And and there's this woman in the middle of the theater, like dead center in the theater, sobbing uncontrollably and loud. And even in the middle of all this scene, you look around to the veterans who were in the shit, and they're dying laughing. Like even one of them reaches over and he's like, "Dear, it's not that bad.
Right?
It's not that bad.
I've seen worse."
Yeah, and they're all laughing. They're all laughing, and just like wet face, tears rolling down her face. Josh Hartnett, no.
She was more concerned with Josh Hartnett dying than the actual movie itself.
I guess so. Like, like get it while you can, because he shows up in exactly 3 more movies, and that's it for him.
Pretty much.
See, I just see that going a step further, and she like turns to her husband and be like, "Why couldn't it have been you?" Just completely off the wall.
Wrong kid died.
Oh, that's gonna kill me.
What movie was that? Wrong kid died. Maybe in a TV show. I can't remember. Anyway,
I don't know that reference.
Yeah, so I didn't know about this Moby Dick movie starring Thor until we went to the theaters and saw the trailer for it. Because as it's going, I'm like,
that was the worst time for me to take a drink.
Moby Dick,
you're like,
starring Thor.
And I was like, what?
Yeah, because as the trailer is going, you get about like a minute and a half into it, and it's like, in case you didn't get the picture, Moby Dick. But then it gives you the title of the movie, and it's like, in the heart of the sea. I don't know what it's trying to be right now. I'm not sure.
Thor is Aquaman?
No, that's going to be Jason Momoa.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like, well, the dude what plays Thor fights
Moby Dick.
A cartoonishly large whale. Like, I think one of the posters is him, like, floating in the sea, and it's a gigantic whale eye that's easily, like, 15 times larger than he is.
Oh, yeah. Maybe he gets shrunk.
And he doesn't talk like the captain, like the captain or whatever on The Simpsons. So that was really disappointing. He sounds like Chris Hemsworth Thor.
Yeah. I saw the preview for it on TV, and I'm like, just summon your hammer, dude. This is over.
Yeah.
Like, you can kill this whale with one hit of your lightning.
Pretty sure you've done something similar. You just throw it through him when he opens his mouth. Like, give that a shot.
Yeah.
The last whale you took out was just flying in New York.
But still, I can't take him seriously in a movie with like that kind of depth to it for some reason. Like, I could buy him as James Hunt in Rush, the F1 movie. I could buy him as that.
How deep do whales swim?
That was a good movie.
Yeah, Rush was a good movie. But I for some reason I can't buy him in this role. I don't really know why. Because like halfway through I'm expecting it to be like a farce, like, you know, a spoof on it, and Johnny Depp just shows up.
Oh, right. Oh,
as Jack Sparrow, you know.
Yeah, he hasn't really. I didn't watch that racing movie with him in it because I just don't care. And I think there's been a chick flick with him in it. And again,
wasn't he in the remake of Red Dawn?
Yeah, he was, and that wasn't bad. I mean, it was a remake, but I don't know. I'm still waiting.
It had like a full cast, and I was really disappointed they didn't really do much with that cast.
Yeah, it was. It was down when all those movies with like the Steadicam came out. all the movies where you just had like 3 people running the whole movie and someone chasing them with like a little camera. It felt like that. I mean, it wasn't, and at the time it didn't. But now looking back, it's just like it just felt like another one of those movies. Nothing really stood out. That really made
there are definite like certain eras in like cinematic sort of trends.
Yeah,
like when the Bourne Ultimatum came out, and every action movie had like, let's just shake the crap out of the camera for every action scene, and that was like the thing for like 2 years or so.
I think I watched The Bourne Legacy today.
I still haven't seen that one.
The one with Aaron Cross and the chick from The Mummy.
Yeah.
I
I like the original trilogy. I still watch that when I'm sick or bored. I throw it in, fall asleep to it, and then have to watch it again the next day because I fell asleep during it.
The third one was the Bourne Ultimatum. They definitely went to another level with that, and that influenced a lot of movies that followed for like the next few years. But after that, like that's when they went from that. They took that leap from shaky cam to steady cam, where you just run after everyone. So I'm curious to know what like. And then you had
what's
like
next?
You had the extreme close up cam.
Yeah,
which was like the Michael Bay every fight sequence. You can't tell. It's just shapes and gray. That's all.
You might as well just like take 40 pictures and throw them on a table.
Yeah,
it's like that's what you're gonna see.
Then you go back to Enemy of the State and do satellite cam.
Oh yeah.
Well,
apparently that's what he didn't like about Walking Dead.
Well, now it's like close up view, like steady cam. Oh, something else too. I was reading something about, since I'm building, drone or whatever you want to call it. People approaching, people in park flying these things, complaining like, "Don't you spy on me?" Like, don't record all these other things. There is a Nikon Coolpix camera that has like an 800 time zoom.
Oh wow!
There was a video they posted. I'll bring it up. There was a thing that was one of the extreme close up things they took of the moon.
Oh wow!
Where you can see like detailed craters and a bunch of other ridiculous stuff. And this will probably be where I kill the video. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, we might be done with this podcast in 30 seconds.
But people
see what happens.
People who are worried about like the zoom of certain or the how close quads can get to you or whatever.
Yeah,
this is what a off the shelf, I think, $100 camera can do. Like you can see, like once the focus catches up or whatever. There was another shot where I'll bring it up. There was like a cruise ship or whatever across a bay or whatever. I can't remember. I can't think of words as I'm trying to click.
Words are hard.
Yeah. So this is like an off the shelf
83 times optical zoom.
Yeah, this is just an off the shelf basic camera.
I want to see this like applied above a college swimming pool.
You had to take it there.
He put the intro together. He started it.
What did I start?
Sexual being.
Oh, sexual
You,
peeing?
you put us down that road on like the 7th and 8th word of the podcast. Oh, there's no more video?
There will be.
Okay.
I can already see it.
Yeah, you can get the preview.
Preview. Is that a real size boat or is that like a toy boat?
That's a real boat.
Oh.
And then as you zoom out, you see how far away it is. Like that's a pretty solid zoom.
Boat?
But yeah, like if you're worried about some guy in a park with a quadcopter spying on you, it's not going to be the guy in the park with a quadcopter. Like if anyone's going to spy on anyone, they're going to buy this camera for cheap and sit in the bushes across from your house, and you're never going to know they're there.
Now people that like to sit in bushes and relax, they're going to get
Right.
harassed. Be like, why
Everyone's
are
going
you?
to be like, let me
Yeah.
see that 83 zoom camera you got in your pocket.
Yeah, the bush sitter crowd.
Sometimes you just got to bush sit.
Sometimes you feel like a nut.
It works.
But yeah, that the overreaction or whatever to drones, like hobbyist drones, has been pretty ridiculous. Like you've seen people like assaulting pilots over using a drone in a park or whatever. And it's not even a drone. Like people think drones. People think like the warfare side of things. Like you just automate a path into a GPS and let it go. But these are like, it's no different than like remote control helicopters or planes that have been around for 30, 40 years.
Yeah, they just have a name.
It's just more accessible now.
It's a drone, and that's what happens over in the Middle East when we bomb. They use drones. So the association.
See, that's when I would.
That's why quadcopter works.
No, see,
Because a quadcopter is what it is.
Going
like 4
going
copters.
old work, I would be like, it's a flying machine,
Right?
Yeah. That's exactly. Someone walked up to me like, "What do you do, spying on me?" It's a flying machine.
Only if you could do the Willy Wonka.
Oh yeah.
There is no way to know which way we are rowing. Just start singing that someone that comes in. And the rowers keep on rowing.
I think you should just install a Nerf gun at the bottom of your quadcopter, and if someone comes and bothers you, you fly it over to them and shoot them with it.
Yeah,
and then just fly it away.
Well, even
And just staring them at the eyes the whole time, just intently.
well, even my uncle who's
Taser.
Oh.
That'd be even better.
Tase them.
Taser equipped. Just
even my uncle who is he basically digests what he should be afraid of from Fox News.
Oh yes.
The first thing that he mentions after I'm showing my cousin the quad and everything else, and he just goes off the rails like, I seen some kid done strapped a gun to that thing. He's already targeted people in the park. Right? Yeah. So he's already got it in his head that you should be afraid of this tiny 250 millimeter thing that came off a 3D printer. You should be scared of that.
Yeah.
Because terrorism.
Thank you, Fox News.
Yeah. It's all of them. It's Fox News, it's CNN, it's whatever hype train you can get on to make people afraid, and it's pissing me off.
Scare tactics. That used to be the name of a TV show.
Which was a fantastic show. the one where they had the little
Your eyes like lit up as soon as I said those words.
Yes. Some of those bits on there were great,
Yeah,
man.
some of them were pretty good.
The one where you had the kind of flamboyant dude who was in the lab, and you had like the little the tiny dude dressed up as a troll or whatever.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Where are you, little man?"
You never watched Scare Tactics?
I know the name.
It came on Sci-Fi. Tracy Morgan was the host for a year.
Yeah, okay.
That's actually the only one I watched. Is the one that
pretty sure
Tracy
that was a
Morgan was the
comedy.
host. It was
Pretty
a
sure
comedy.
that was a comedy, not a sci-fi.
But it was on Sci-Fi Channel, wasn't it?
It was.
Yeah, it was on.
Because it.
I think it came on after Ghost Hunters.
Yeah, because
Wasn't it Shannon Doherty that was a host for like the first few seasons?
Yeah, and then they brought in.
Well, because I
band.
had to watch those commercials during the reruns of Stargate.
Yeah.
Because it was that and Eureka.
Eh.
I just have it stuck in my head where it's Tracy Morgan as Brian Fellows. I want to see that goblin catch a frisbee.
Right.
That goblin got demon eyes.
Does he have a Twitter account? I know I had him on the Facebooks for a minute.
I don't know. I don't know. I've never looked.
But he's a comedian.
There's certain comics that I follow. Other ones that are just.
He's at Real Tracy Morgan.
I think it's
That's him.
like Martin Lawrence. He doesn't post anything funny.
Oh yeah.
He's like, my fans showed up at my show, and here's all of them. But it's like, if you want funny, you have to pay him. He doesn't give anything for free. But Patton Oswalt gives you tons for free. Kevin Smith, you can't shut him up.
Oh no.
You're going to hear at least 80 of his opinions a day on
I'm
Twitter.
really kind of surprised they don't have like a Kevin Smith After Dark, and they just record him whatever he rants in his sleep.
All right, so there's your idea.
Right?
Again,
if you have a marginally horrible movie and you want me to watch it, get Kevin Smith to do your commentary.
Right?
Just
Oh,
first react. Do it like Rules of Attraction.
he needs to do a Space Odyssey type thing.
There was a movie called Rules of Attraction. We've talked about it before. But one of the commentary tracks, the director was just a big fan. And so he brought Carrot Top as the day they were doing commentary. They had the studio for like 12 hours, something like that. They just brought in Carrot Top, and he's like, dude, you want to watch a movie and like talk about it? He's like, sure. He's like, are we going to discuss the movie? He's like, nope, just going to be you. And so they stuck him in a sound booth and played the movie. And it's his first viewing the movie. He didn't know who the cast was.
Oh wow.
He didn't know any of the plot of the movie. It's him reacting to the movie as if he's watching it. Well, he is watching it for the first time. And we stumbled, like me and Monkey. We were working on his car or something like that. But we picked up this out of the dollar bin at Walmart. And at some point, going in and out of the house to go check on the car, we hit a button on the remote during one of the paused it for a second. And we came back and it was like it's already a weird kind of, hacked together a bunch of scenes, like very non-linear storytelling kind of style. So you really wouldn't be, if you stumbled onto an accident and didn't know about it, you really wouldn't know anything was off. So a new scene starts and there's this guy talking. And he's like, what are you doing? No. And we're like, this movie took a weird turn. But like, at this point,
you turn commentary on.
Yeah, at this point, I was used to watching David Lynch movies and things like that.
Yeah.
So things take a left turn anyway.
Yeah, you're used to it.
Yeah, so I'm just kind of like, oh, okay. I'm trying really hard to.
Someone's
figure
really
out.
phoning this one in.
Yeah, it's kind of like a weird scene in the movie where you kind of get there. It reveals this character that was sort of in the background of every scene you've seen before, but you didn't realize she was there, and she hasn't had a good run of it, and something happens. And it's him reacting to this whole thing like, no. And then it gets to the one point, he's like, the one hot chick in the movie. Why? So we just broke like the fourth wall and mentioned this was a movie.
Yeah.
I'm really confused. And then as 5 minutes pass, I'm like, something has to be wrong. So look on the back of the
This
DVD
movie
case.
is self-aware.
Yeah, look on the back of the DVD case because like Eric Smoltz walks in, he's like, Eric, he's like, it's my brother Eric, put me in a movie, It's just him screaming, put me in a movie to Eric Stoltz or whatever. And I was like, something has to be wrong. Look on the back of the DVD case, and it's like commentary by a special guest. I'm like, and I instantly put two and two together. I was like, that's Carrot Top.
Yeah,
without a doubt, that's Carrot Top. So yeah, I looked. You have to go like there's back when like DVDs had. That's the one thing I kind of miss about downloading and like Netflix and stuff like that. When DVDs had Easter eggs.
Yeah,
and you had to like go a certain sequence on the DVD menu to find it.
Yeah,
that was one of the things where it revealed the
now
true
they just play them on
identity.
YouTube's.
Yeah,
so it's so much easier now. It's like the cheat code. Yeah.
Up, down, left, right, left.
Yeah, or like certain commentary tracks that are lost forever because they're on Laserdisc, like Criterion Collection stuff, where you had like.
We have a friend with Laserdisc, so
we have a
I got thrown off when Mike said he had a 5. He had a 5-disc changer. 5-disc Laserdisc changer. Like, is that the size of a Volvo in your living room?
I know.
So I was thinking Mystery Science Theater style thing with Kevin Smith, not Space Odyssey. My mind's gone. So
as long as it doesn't have the comic book men guys.
No, just him and Jay.
Not even Jay.
No, I mean, have you watched like the Evening with Kevin Smith when he shows up?
Yeah, but it's the thing I don't like about it is that
it lets Kevin breathe.
They try to force him into being the character Jay, and that's not him.
No, that's the thing is when it's just a conversation and he's not that character, they actually have a good converation. So he's not being forced; he's just watching a movie.
Like I would actually be more interested to hear, kind of like an open forum discussion about movies on a regular basis. Like if they had a TV show where it was like Kevin Smith and a director, like somebody.
Yeah.
Like I would actually watch many hours of Kevin Smith and Ben Affleck discussing movies from a technical standpoint, from directing standpoint, storytelling.
Why Ben Affleck?
Because he's actually a good director.
Yeah.
but
he wants to see Matt Damon.
Matt Damon.
I watched The Martian this week.
Yeah?
Yeah.
17.
The fact that you said it was being put up as a comedy was interesting.
Yeah, I don't understand.
Like there were times and that I laughed. You know, I mean, he's talking to himself the majority of the movie, and
Yeah,
you
I
know,
know.
he's entertaining himself. Essentially, yeah, it's Castaway in space.
for the Emmys. I think it was for the Emmys or Golden Globes, one of the two.
Message.
Yeah, they put this in the comedy category.
So
Yeah.
is it worth watching?
It's
very
2
much
hours
worth
and
watching.
17 minutes long.
So watch it at home.
Watch it at home. There's some good copies out now, but I enjoyed it overall. I mean, it's 2 long movies with Matt Damon stuck in space in 1 year or a year and a half. But this one was much more entertaining. The other one, I thought it should have ended 4 times. Interstellar,
yeah.
that movie, it felt like Lord of the Rings. Like, oh, sweet, I can pee. No,
It's like when you went down that road with like the Tesseract and everything else,
yeah.
and Chris Nolan, I think Chris Nolan over-directed his brother's script. That's what happened with that movie. He could have left a lot of things at face value and not had to dive into explaining what was going on. Like, you know, Stanley Kubrick, you know, you don't have to explain every little thing in the movie.
Yeah.
You know, people will fill in the blanks, and if they're too dumb to get it, then they shouldn't watch the movie.
But I thought both of them were good. This one was entertaining.
Yeah. I didn't need, like, the 4.5 minutes of Matthew McConaughey sobbing while he's stuck in the Tesseract.
Yeah.
It's me! Don't go! Don't go!
Yeah.
What's
and
in the box?
Most of Martian was actually it was necessary. Because, I mean, there wasn't a whole lot of downtime in that movie, even for the 2 hours, a little over 2 hours that it played.
The time skips I liked. I didn't like the way they played the character.
I don't want it to be ruined.
It's not going to be ruined, but, like, yeah, certain things. If you read, I read the book, and I was really disappointed that they didn't have the line. Like, that would have been the best introduction to the character.
I didn't read the book.
Well, Robert sold me on the book, and for the people who watch the YouTube videos, he's he's the behind the scenes, the excerpt, the outtake that we had.
Yeah.
The wacky flailing arm inflatable
Wacky
2-man
wavy
video.
Arm flailing 2-man.
Something like that. He was the dude
big.
that did that thing.
We need that button.
Which has like more views than a good majority of our podcasts. So you should know who he is if you're listening to this point. But the way he sold me on the book, he kind of gave a description of it and everything else. He's like, oh, it's got a lot of science in the book, which is a good thing. But he's like, the first line of the book is, well, basically, I'm fucked. That's the first line of the book.
Nice.
And it just drops you right into his situation.
Did we talk about this already? Because there was another book not too long ago that you mentioned the first line was awesome, and that's why you read it. Because then we talked about Alan Alda's book briefly. Or was this just in my head and we didn't do this?
I may not have been. I may have not have been there for that one. So
okay.
Could have been that one.
No, because okay. I bought a book for the same reason.
Yeah.
The first line. It's Alan Alda's autobiography.
Which one?
Never have your dog stuffed and other things I've learned along the way.
I have the hardback. It's a good book.
I think you have my hardback.
Nope, it's mine.
That's mine.
Possession 9/10 law. I've had it for like 4 years. It's mine.
That book has been around. Like 8 people have read it, but
I've
yeah,
lent
it's
that
like
book out twice. It came back to me. It's mine.
I think it starts something like
I've owned 4 copies of House of Leaves.
Oh, nice.
I want people to read that book, and I'm like, I don't care if it comes back. I don't read it. But yeah, the opening line in House of Leaves, or the first page you open up, the book just says, "This is not for you." And then you flip through the pages and you're like, "What, punk, man?" Like, and then you flip through the page, like, this probably ain't for me. But once you get into it, man, like the all the hidden junk in that book that uncover different parts of the story. It's an incredible read, and it's something you're gonna have to pick through for a while. The forums that are still very active for this book are certain little sub things, like, you know, it works a lot with like typeset in the book, like certain fonts, certain movements of letters in a sentence or whatever. He uses that to kind of make you go a little bit insane as the characters are sort of like, you know, the threads are sort of running bare and they're starting to like go a little crazy. He messes with like typeface, font, position of words on a page, and makes you kind of go like kind of get into their like little psychosis, their little breakdown. One part of the book where the text sort of starts spiraling around the different pages. It's like a 3-page sequence.
I've heard of this.
Yeah, I've told you about this before. As you start reading it, I for an hour and a half, I read the same 3 pages over and over and over again and didn't realize it. And then when you finally realize it, you're like, dude. Yeah. When you realize it, you're like, son of a bitch, man. Like
The line for Alan Alda's book starts with, "My mother didn't try to stab my father until I was 6." That's the first line. Yeah. After that title, "Never have your dog stuffed," and other things I've learned. I was
that
like,
sounds pretty cool.
I bought it.
There's the book that you actually may want to borrow. I can't remember the guy from Empire. He's a comedian. Wow, his name was just there, and then I started talking, and it went away.
Cuba Gooding Jr.?
No, Mexican dude. Hold on, let me look it up.
Yeah,
I went and saw him do it like an act, and then we got to talk to him, and I got him to sign the book.
Yeah, Wired Magazine many years ago, they did they wrote out to a bunch of different authors and things like that, and they wanted to have them write a 6-word sci-fi short story. So just to go down the list, like one of my favorites was Kevin Smith. I don't think that's actually it is quoted on this page, but William Shatner's his short story, failed SAT, lost scholarship, invented a rocket. Yeah, there's some pretty good ones on here. Joss Whedon's gown removed carelessly, head less so.
I like that.
Stanley, automobile warranty expires, so does engine. But there's Frank Miller with bloody hands, I say goodbye.
Sounds like you have some homework to find it out. Did
I
you
found
find it?
John Leguizamo.
Oh, okay, yeah.
John Leguizamo, what about him?
His autobiography is actually really good. So he has a book. It's in that room right there.
It's behind you, all you viewers. I was like, whoa, we haven't killed the GoPro yet, but
The GoPro's not here.
GoPro's not here.
We're just going straight up with the with OBS. Kevin Smith, Kirby had never eaten toes before. Ken McLeod, we went solar, the sun went nova.
Nice.
Howard Chaykin, I couldn't believe she'd shoot me. Mark Miller, Broken Heart, 45, WLTM, Disabled Man. But yeah, some interesting little shorts here. Anyway, we're about to wrap this up.
Yeah, I think so.
We trailed off like half an hour ago. If you stuck this far, you're one of the few and the proud.
Right. Yeah.
Tell your friends how amusing this episode was.
Tell them to listen to the first 45 minutes and then just turn us off.
Or maybe even just the first 5 and cut out.
Yeah.
Next week.
No.
No.
Spoilers.
We don't know yet.
Mm-mm. See y'all next week. Y'all have
Yeah.
a good one.
Well, I have to go plug the music.
Roll that beautiful bean footage.
Everyone wants to cut out before I play the music.
Well, you got to be prepared. You need a music button.
It's all the way over there.
Well, you should be closer.
Or have longer arms.
Or we need more cameras.
If you were part of the Fantastic Four, you wouldn't have a problem. Just stretch.
And I could DJ from 15 feet away.
And I could be invisible.
You could be, you're the chick.
I am the cutest.
And to all, good night.